Big at you. Let's get into these angel numbers.
Angel numbers. Communicate with your spirit guides through messages from above. Written by Wendy Robbins. Narrated by Laura Howry. Introduction. Every being on this planet has at least one guardian angel who was with them from birth. That means that you have one too. Guardian angels and spirit guides are with you always, whether or not you recognize it. An angel's role is to guide, protect, and support each being throughout their lives, throughout their soul's journey. Your angel knows your soul's mission, with the soul being the spiritual essence of who you are. Your angel is aware of your purpose and why you chose that body, that family, and that life. Think about that for a moment. Let it really sink in. Whether you view it negatively or positively, you were put here for a reason. Your soul said, hey, I want incarnation into that body. I need to be in that family, that city, and that particular situation. Your angel has been there from the very start. That means that your angels know you completely, even better than you know yourself. Have you ever experienced signs from your angels without realizing it? They communicate with us in a multitude of ways. One of those ways is through angel numbers. These signs, if understood correctly, can orient your direction in life, make you feel more fulfilled, and give you a sense of purpose. If you ignore these signs, or if you are merely unaware of them, you may never stop looking for the right direction to head in life. This may lead a person to feel lost or anxious and miss the greater meaning of life. Angels communicate through numbers. Angel numbers are recurring numerals and number sequences. They are one of the most commonly experienced signs from the angelic realm. You may or may not notice them. While it's common to see recurring sequences of numbers such as 1111 or 222, angels can communicate through any digit. Here's an example. Let's say that the house you grew up in was number 408, and as a college student, you lived in apartment 408, 4th floor and 8th apartment. You often find yourself aimlessly looking at the clock at 4:08 in the afternoon as you wait for your workday to end. Many times you wake up from a dream at 4:08 in the morning. The power goes out, and when it comes back on, the clock on the stove flashes 4:08. On your commute to work, you see a bus numbered 4:08. When driving on the weekend, you find yourself behind a car with 4:08 on its license plate. You park on the 4th floor of a public parking garage. It is spot 08. When you buy your latte, the total price is $4.08. The ingredient list in your bread recipe says 3 1/4 cups, 408 grams, all-purpose flour. In other words, it seems like you see that number everywhere. It may seem far-fetched, but it happens. In addition to their pattern and frequency, what's unique about angel numbers is their energy and how they make you feel. If you start noticing a recurring sequence of numbers, take note. It's your angel's way of calling a meeting with you. Your angel can't send you an email, however, it can request your presence. And if the recurring number is also the number of unread emails in your inbox on a particular day, hopefully not 4:08, maybe it is using your inbox to get your attention. Our angels use multiple methods to get us to take notice. When you get time to do so, take that meeting with your angel. They're always available to you. They are never in do not disturb mode. The only schedule you have to think about is your own. Don't miss the angel's call. About a decade ago, I discovered that I am an empath, and it set me on a path of self-discovery. I started to learn about myself and others through psychology and spiritual tools. When my soul led me to New Age spirituality, I immersed myself in tarot, palmistry, numerology, astrology, and the angel realms. I help people like yourself on their path of self-discovery. Without this book, the questions in your head will stay there, unanswered. You might notice the numbers and ignore them. Your angels will continue to send you messages that you ignore. How do you feel when you text someone and they don't text you back? Your angels want to guide you. If your life is good, they want to make it sweeter. If you're experiencing a rough patch, they want to pull you out of it. You possess the answers to your life's problems with assistance from the spirit realm. If you're listening to a song you've heard before and suddenly you hear a lyric more clearly than ever, that's your angels. If that same song takes on a meaning for you that it never had before, your interpretation is what you need to hear at the time you listen to it. When someone hands you a book that you didn't know you needed, that's your angels. If Amazon suggested this book to you, that could be a sign. There's a reason you're reading this. You read a tweeted recommendation of a music compilation or an article. That compilation or article speaks to you as if it's in your mind, answering your questions, experiencing what you're experiencing, expressing your problem. That's your angels doing. They facilitate solutions and change, sometimes through subtle nudges and other times through apparent signs. Have you seen an old friend in your social media feed when you hadn't thought of them for a long time? That could be your angels. Maybe there's a reason you need to be in touch with them. If you're unemployed, perhaps that person has a job for you or knows someone who does. Or maybe that childhood friend turns out to be your soulmate and your angel is causing a reintroduction. From restless borderline alcoholic to recovery. That's what happened to Sarah. Sarah was feeling restless. She was in a relationship that felt stale, and she knew that her partner was not her soulmate. While Sarah mostly enjoyed her job, she disliked her long commute every day. Sarah had a sense that there was something more to life, but couldn't pinpoint what it was. As she grew frustrated and bored, she started hanging out in a bar most evenings to avoid going home to her girlfriend. The strangers and friends she met seemed more interesting than Sarah saw herself to be. Sarah felt that the more she drank, the more fun and exciting she became. She liked this feeling. On TV, people drink their problems away and then manage to return to work each day revived. Sarah did not feel revived. She felt nagging guilt that she was letting herself as well as her girlfriend down. Over several months, Sarah began to sense a shift but didn't understand it. She heard a quiet voice inside her head telling her to relax and let go. To stop drinking and take positive actions in her life. She ignored that voice for weeks because she wasn't interested in what it had to say. Sarah dabbled in meditation in the past. She'd had some advice pop into her mind that seemed helpful for self-preservation. Sarah recognized that her inner voice might be guiding her, but she wasn't ready. A large part of her felt comfortable being stuck in a rut with what she knew. The idea of no job and no home terrified her. Sarah's drinking increased. She'd fall into bed with her girlfriend, dragging herself out of bed in the morning, showering, and grabbing a large coffee on the way to work. Her life would repeat the same pattern day after day. Then she saw something she hadn't seen before. A repeating number. Sarah's number. In the mornings, she started waking up at 5:55, whether she liked it or not, with no alarm. At the end of many workdays, as she was packing up her belongings, she'd see it again. 5:55. Some days, Sarah would look at the pedometer on her phone and it would display 5,550 steps. Sarah took a taxi one night and saw 555 in the cab number. There were 555 pages in the book she was reading. When a new credit card arrived in the mail, the 3-digit code on the back was 555. It showed up in serial numbers, drink bills, street addresses, and in other places it had always been, but seemed new. The number 555 was trying to tell her something. One morning, Sarah fought with her girlfriend. It started as what Sarah perceived to be an attack on Sarah's distance and secrecy. It soon became an argument that ended in tears. Sarah expressed thoughts and feelings that she didn't know she had. After her girlfriend walked out, Sarah crumpled to a heap and sobbed. When she opened her eyes, she looked at her phone. She'd missed a call from a number that had 555 in the last 4 digits. Something inside her started to shift. She began to feel a tiny bit lighter. Out loud, she declared, "Okay, universe, show me what you got. I can't take this anymore. Tell me what to do," she begged. "Please, give me a sign." 555 means that change is coming. The 555s were a warning, a request to pay attention. After Sarah surrendered that day, help showed up in unexpected ways. She walked by a church in her neighborhood and saw a group leaving an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. She tentatively began attending meetings. Then, a childhood friend posted on Facebook that she was going on a wellness retreat in South America, and Sarah decided to sign up. It was a life-changing experience. Within months, she'd moved to a new city. She found a new job in which she could be creative, serve others, and finally achieve fulfillment. She found love with a new partner. She had friends. She remained conscious of when she was using substances to numb out or keep from being bored. The angel numbers themselves were a message to pay attention, do the work, and be the change. They were an awakening. Once you realize that help is available to you, it's easier to see. Help will find you. The tools that Sarah picked up along the way assisted her, and the angels themselves facilitated that change. A short message from the author. Hey, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to check in and ask if you were enjoying the Angel Numbers audiobook. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Many readers and listeners don't know how hard reviews actually are to come by and how much they help an author. So I would be incredibly thankful if you could take just 60 seconds to leave a quick review on Audible, even if it's just a sentence or two. And don't worry, it won't interrupt this audiobook. To do so, just click the 3 dots in the top corner of your screen inside of your Audible app and hit the rate and review page, where you can enter your star rating and then write a sentence or two about the audiobook. It's simple. I look forward to reading your review. Leave me a little message as I personally read every review. Now I'll walk you through the process as you do it. Just unlock your phone, click the 3 dots in the top right corner of your screen, and hit the rate and review button. Enter your star rating, and that's it. That's all you need to do. I'll give you another 10 seconds just to finish sharing your thoughts. This is a 10-second pause. Thank you so very much for taking the time to leave a short review on Audible. I'm very appreciative, as your review truly makes a difference for me. Now back to your scheduled programming. Your angel is guiding you. Your angel is guiding you to the wisdom and people you need. Guidance is available to you at all times if you ask and pay attention. This book will help you with that. It will also help you understand the role of angels and other celestial beings. If you're seeing numbers repeating in your life, using this book as a guide for interpreting them, use this book as a guide for interpreting them. Some number sequences are universally meaningful. Reading this book in itself might provide you with an awareness of recurring numbers and how to interpret them. It will give you the tools to befriend your angels and guides so that you can be allies. When you notice a recurring number sequence, look it up in this book, but also consider how the number and each of its digits make you feel. This book can't tell you that. When you are devoted to spending more time with your angels, you will find that you live life with more ease. Challenges will inevitably arise, of course, but it will be easier for you to overcome them and find answers. If you are at a crossroads in life, this book will help guide you to the right path, provide you with more purpose and direction in life, and rid you of any anxiety you have, as you deserve a happy, purposeful life. Open your mind and keep on reading, as your guides and I want to help you if you'll let us. It's time to align yourself with your soul purpose, surrender old patterns, and fulfill your destiny. Chapter 1. Why do angels want to communicate with us? Before you understand angel numbers, you need to learn more about the role of angels, why angels communicate with us in daily life, and why they use numbers to do so. It's also interesting to learn the origin of angels, how they've appeared throughout history and in religion, and to find out how they relate to God or the source. The origins and makeup of angels can help you apply what you learn about them. The role of angels. The English word angel derives from the Greek word angelos, which means messenger. Those who believe in angels think that they are messengers from God who carry out tasks he assigns them to perform on earth. Your guardian angel is assigned to you at birth to act as your protector. Angels will sometimes save you from making the wrong choice. They will redirect you when you make choices that are out of alignment with your soul's mission. They will also allow you to make mistakes that you need to make. Everyone needs to make poor choices so that they and their soul learn and grow. When you manage to avoid a dangerous situation, that's your angel's doing. When you avoid endangering yourself or others with your car in what could otherwise have been a harmful or fatal situation, that's your angel helping. If you've ever had a day on which you changed your routine just a little bit and avoided a hazard that you could have encountered otherwise, that's your angels. There are several stories of people who overslept on the day of a major tragedy such as 9/11 and thus avoided harm. While angels are often associated with the New Age movement, they actually appear throughout religious texts and traditions. Angels in religion and throughout history. Angels in Judaism and Christianity. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, angels are included in both the Old Testament and the New Testament. Angels are part of the universe created by God. Angels were first described in the Bible without wings and as mere men. The descriptions evolved to include the wings and other differentiating features, such as a spear and a green palm branch for Archangel Michael, a lantern and a mirror for Gabriel, a sword and a flame for Uriel, a white rose for Barachiel, and other accessories. While angels are genderless, descriptions often imply that they are either male or female. The suggestion of gender usually has to do with masculine and feminine energy, as angels are beings of light without bodies, energy. As a society, we're conditioned to assign gender pronouns to living things and also, on occasion, to inanimate objects. When angels show themselves to humans, these light beings often do appear with wings so that humans can identify them, if not by name, then as angels. They will speak to us in terms we understand and give us direct instructions based on the modern world. The biblical interpretation of angels is that they are servants or messengers of God. The angels of the Old Testament protect and avenge. They're messengers of both damnation as well as salvation. Christianity borrows its concepts of angels from the Judaic teachings. The Old Testament describes them as servants of God. The Jewish sages say that when a person performs a commandment, they create an angel that accompanies them, which would mean that each individual could have several accompanying angels. The New Testament describes the role of guardian angels as that of intermediary between God and humans. The angels speak on behalf of God, and they help amplify our prayers to Him. In the New Testament, angels are prominent in the major events of the life of Christ, His conception and birth, passion, and resurrection. In fact, the angel Gabriel gave the news to Mary that she'd be pregnant with a son who was to be named Jesus. According to Catholicism, angels serve three functions: peace, repentance, and prayer. Angels in other monotheistic religions. Angels appear in the Quran. In Islam, Muslims believe that angels were formed from light prior to the creation of humans. They are beings of light with the duty to carry out the wishes of Allah, and they have no free will. One of the requirements of the Islamic faith is a belief in the unseen world of angels, Allah, His prophets, the afterlife, and so on. Archangels share names across religions, albeit with some slight changes to account for different languages. For example, Gabriel means God is my strength. In Hebrew, his name is Gavriel. In Biblical Greek, he's Gabriel, and in Arabic, he's Jibril or Jibrael. Michael, meaning who is as God, is Michael in Hebrew, with the KH making a guttural sound. Mikhail is Arabic, and he is Manukili in the Akkadian language. Raphael is Israfil in Arabic. Some archangels, such as Gabriel, appear in the Old Testament, New Testament, and in the Quran. Hinduism and Buddhism have divine beings and deities. So if angels are a religious construct from ancient monotheistic religions, what about Greek theology and paganism? Greek theology. In his poem Works and Days, written around 700 BC, the ancient Greek poet Hesiod referred to ethereal beings disguised as humans helping and punishing people for Zeus. The Greeks had no word for religion itself, but the Greek religion lasted more than 1,000 years, from the 9th or 8th century BC to the 4th century CE. There were no sacred texts. A Greek who denied the existence of a deity risked retribution from that deity or even other humans. However, because Greeks didn't understand religious orthodoxy, there was no enforcement. Greeks were more likely to pray during times of crisis rather than having a committed practice. The concept of angels came later with Plato, Aristotle, and other Greek philosophers. The idea was further developed during the Middle Ages, between the 5th and 15th centuries, and in early modern Neoplatonism. A 5th century Neoplatonist philosopher named Proclusum used a Greek word similar to the English word angel to describe metaphysical beings. Some say that beings referred to as Greek gods are actually angels, for example, Nike, the Greek messenger god. Angels in paganism. Paganism isn't an organized, structured religion. Each pagan's experiences with divinity and spirit often shape their view. Pagans do believe in angels, but not in the same way Christians do. Whereas monotheistic religions believe that angels are messengers of God, a single God, the pagan interpretation is looser because they don't share that notion of God. Pagans believe that angels are highly evolved beings, but rather than being messengers of God, they're messengers of universal creators here to help people rather than be subservient to a higher power. The paganist angels are more like the fairies in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, creatures that frolic on earth among trees and water. Angels can manifest as elves, dwarves, pixies, mermaids, or other beings that you read about in fairy tales and see in Disney films. They can also be elementals, embodying one of the four primary elements of our planet: earth, water, air, and fire. Elements themselves are shapeshifters. Elves are earth spirits classified as gnomes. Many of the pagan notions of angels and spirit can be found in fantasy books and movies. Angels in history. There is evidence that ancient Sumerians, the earliest known civilization to permanently settle between 5500 and 4000 BC, believed in celestial beings. Sumerian carvings that depict gods with wings exist. Messenger angels became very important in communicating between the various gods and cities. The Sumerians believed that everyone had their own personal ghost attached to them, an entity that accompanied them throughout their life, often helping them when they ran into difficulties. These ghosts are what we call guardian angels. Archaeologists have found altars dedicated to these guardian angels in ancient Sumerian buildings, some of them with wall paintings and engravings of winged human figures. The Sumerians might have inherited these beliefs from ancient shamanistic ways of thinking. The Babylonians believed that each person has a guardian angel. Hermes, a Christian and one-time slave who lived in ancient Rome in the 1st or 2nd century, wrote of his visions. Some of them included the angel of repentance, who came to him in the form of a shepherd. In the 13th century, St. Thomas Aquinas wrote the Summa Theologica, a theological summary to describe the relationship between God and man, citing proof of God's existence. In it, he included 15 of his lectures about angels. Joan of Arc, a farmer's daughter who was raised Catholic, claimed to see angels and saints and hear their voices. Her experiences began when she was 13 years old. Her most serious crime, according to the court trial in 1431, was her rejection of church authority in favor of direct inspiration from God. After refusing to yield to the church, she received a death sentence. Joan of Arc initially agreed to recant and received a prison sentence instead of death. The voices returned and admonished her for recanting. After she chose to accept them, the judges declared her a relapsed heretic. For her heresy, the English and their French collaborators burned 19-year-old Joan at the stake, as 10,000 people watched.
Yeah.
The angels are a strange...
Yeah, anybody who defied the church, that's what they did. They killed them. And people still want to praise God in the name of religion. And it's like, what kind of shit? What kind of shit is that? Yeah, I know there's a higher creator, but I'm not gonna bow down to the damn Jesus. And all they did was damn crucify people and kill them because they wouldn't bow down. Fuck that shit.
Genus. Carl Jung, 1875 to 1961, the founder of analytical psychology, believed that everyone has an angelic self in the deepest recess of our psyche. His version of the angel has infinite care, love, passion, and pathos. According to Jung, there is a version of your identity that is an angelic being that is infinite. Emotional outbursts such as tears or aggression express the shadow of the angel. In this autobiography, Memories, Dreams, Reflections, originally published in 1962, Jung acknowledged the Judeo-Christian version of angels. He referred to the fall of the angels as a premature invasion of the human world by unconscious contents. He said, "The angels are a strange genus. They are precisely what they are and cannot be anything else. They are in themselves soulless, who represent nothing but the thoughts and intuitions of their Lord." The angelic hierarchy. There is a hierarchy in the angelic realm. In the late 5th or early 6th century, Christian Neoplatonist Pseudo-Dionysius discovered a hierarchy of angels based on his research of the Bible and other material. The hierarchy contains 9 orders, also called choirs, which are broken down into 3 more categories known as triads, spheres, and hierarchies. In the first category are the seraphim, cherubim, and thrones. Seraphim translates into burning ones, those that warm or those that burn. They are the angels of love, light, and fire. The seraphim are the angels closest to God. Their main task is to encircle the throne of God while chanting, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts." This is a Hebrew prayer called the Kadosh. In the book of Genesis, the cherubim guard the entrance to the Garden of Eden and the Tree of Life. The thrones are a class of angels mentioned in the New Testament by the Apostle Paul. They are living symbols of God's justice and authority, and one of their symbols is a throne. The second group includes dominions, virtues, and powers. Dominions keep the world in proper order and manage the angels below them. They show mercy toward humans even while expressing God's justice. Virtues provide strength, courage, and motivation, encouraging people to strengthen their faith in God. They assist with miracles. Powers are considered to be warrior angels who protect heaven from evil spirits. The group is most involved with life on earth. These angels are the principalities, archangels, and angels. Principalities manage the lower angels, charging them with fulfilling the divine ministry. They directly watch over large groups, nations, and institutions. They continuously communicate information to and from heaven. Archangels are the ones who communicate and interact with us, carrying messages from God. Neither the word archangel nor its Hebrew equivalent appears in the Old Testament. However, it does appear twice in the New Testament. Many lightworker day people channel archangels. Archangels include Michael, Uriel, Raphael, Gabriel, among others. Only Michael and Gabriel are mentioned by name in the New Testament. Every archangel has a specific duty. They are each known as the angel of function. For example, a frequent description of Archangel Metatron refers to the one who records everything that happens in the universe, with help from other angels. He records merit and sin. Metatron doesn't appear in the Testament, Hebrew Bible, but his name appears briefly in several passages of Talmud, the Hebrew compilation of ancient teachings. The Kabbalah also mentions Metatron. Being the lowest level of celestial beings, angels are the ones who connect with us most. They are the heavenly beings assigned to humans, often as guardian angels. They're part of our pit crew. Unlike principalities or angels, angels are assigned exclusively to us. Our angel is as unique as we are, and they sometimes visit us. Some people can even see them. The Old Testament tells us that angels have various responsibilities and roles in God's kingdom. Angels work with each other and also with God. Angels are non-denominational, working with people of all faiths and spiritual beliefs. Spirit guides. There are several types of spirit guides. Among others, these include ascended masters, ancestral guides, nature spirits, animal guides, and star beings. Ascended masters. An master, also known as a master teacher guide, who appears as a spirit guide, being who had a physical life and has moved on to a higher spiritual plane. Unlike an angel who only works with you, an ascended master helps several people. It's not uncommon for an ascended master to have access to Akashic records, which is basically a collection of what will happen, is happening, or has happened. The records contain information about your past lives, along with details about probable future events. We all have free will, so there is no guarantee about our future. Ancestors. An ancestral guide is a deceased ancestor. They are the spirits of someone who loved us during their physical lifetime or who are related to us by blood. Your grandmother, who continues to dispense advice to you after her death, is an ancestral guide. If you hear her voice in your head, it could be her, or it could be your own inner guides passing along the type of advice she'd give you if she were still alive. Nature spirits. Nature spirits are the beings we went over above in the section about paganism. Elementals, the elves, gnomes, mermaids, sylphs, dwarves, leprechauns, and brownies, in this context a good-natured goblin rather than a chocolate treat, are nature spirits. Animal guides, also known as power animals, are those spirit animals. They are mighty protector spirits. They choose us, we don't choose them. While you might think that your cat is your spirit animal, or a quiz on a magazine website tells you that your spirit animal is a horse, It is possible it's a cow, butterfly, owl, or spider. These are 4 of the 8 most common spirit animals, in addition to hummingbirds, grasshoppers, and eagles. Each has meaning. So if you fear spiders, don't. Spiders can appear in your life or dreams, remind you to create the life you want to lead. Spiders also ask you to be patient, especially if you're working on a project. Imagine yourself weaving a web that you want to create for yourself. Star beings. Star beings, also called star people or alien, are beings from different stars, star clusters, and planets in the universe. Some of these clusters include Pleiades, an open star cluster, Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, and Arcturus, an evolved red giant star. Star beings can have a physical form, but it is not essential for them to have one. Angels versus spirit guides. Whereas guardian angels are with you from birth to death, spirit guides can be anything. Angels, animals, ascended masters, or dead loved ones, for example. The way they come across in channeling and the work they do with us is also felt differently. Angels are loving, they have a high vibration, and are non-judgmental. With a different frequency than guardian angels, spirit guides can feel more earthy. Ascended masters have a style of talking and of conveying information that feels different to us, even though it is loving and wise. Angels and spirit guides not only want to communicate with you, they need to do so. As I mentioned earlier, your angel is with you during your entire span. Their role is to guide you. That doesn't mean that your life will be smooth sailing if you're in touch with your guides. Life is far from perfect. Every person goes through challenges, and each difficulty is a learning opportunity for you and your soul. Your soul chose you because of what you need to experience in this lifetime. If the medium is the message, you, your body, and your brain are the medium. You are the channel by which soul expresses itself. If social media were a sentient being, you would be Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok. Your angels have an infinite amount of love, patience, and compassion for you. They will never judge you. They want you to fulfill your soul's purpose. They're waiting for you to ask. How do I hear, see, or think an angel? So you may be wondering at this point, how do I hear, see, or otherwise sense my angel? You can raise your vibration and keep an eye out. I'll go into more detail in the next chapter, but in essence, we are all made up of energy. Because angels are not three-dimensional physical beings like humans and other animals, we don't see them. Instead, we see representations and indications of them. They visit us in alternate ways. The closest they come to visiting us in physical form is introducing us to people who can help us. Angels visit us in our minds, like in dreams, daydreams, and meditations. As I told you earlier in the chapter, while angels are made up of energy and therefore don't have a body or wings, you might see them with a pair of wings or more than 2. Angels show up in such a way that humans can identify them. In chapter 3, you'll read about how to connect with your angels. However, I just want you to set the intention and feel assured that they are there. Chapter 2. What are angel numbers? Of course, the most simple and concise way to describe angel numbers is by they are numbers shown to humans by angels. Angels frequently send signals that help us in important ways. Most of us miss these messages, and it's not uncommon for angels to try multiple forms of communication until we answer one of them. They'll call, write, email, and skywrite, anything for our attention. Pattern recognition. Skeptics refer to all sorts of paranormal occurrences as pattern recognition. Each time our brains make connections for the outcome that our to see. This is a type of confirmation bias. We want to see a sign, so we convince ourselves that the repeating sign is just that, a sign. For those who believe supernatural, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, though some people are so desperate to see confirmation that they see signs that might not actually be there. Sometimes a flower is a flower, and it does not hold any mystical significance. Brain versus mind. Our higher consciences resides in our minds. The words mind and brain get used in Chapter 3. How do angel numbers work? Angel numbers are notifications from the angels. Think of them like the alerts on your phone that tell you when you have an email, voicemail, a text message, or that someone tagged you on social media. With angel numbers, your angels are asking you to check your messages in the angelic realm. Angels aren't genies. Many people simplify angel numbers as the 1111 Make-A-Wish meme. Come on, angels aren't genie. Though it's not beyond possibility for an angel to shapeshift and appear as one. Angels also aren't like Santa Claus, bringing you toys if you're well behaved. And in Chapter 2, it's not merely about pattern recognition or coincidence either, although both are significant. Angels are persistent. Angels will persist in several ways until we pay attention. Angels use numbers to get our attention because it's an accessible method. We're more likely to see that pattern or coincidence, even if we're not looking for it. Numerals appear in phone numbers, on clocks, license plates, and in recipes. There are page numbers, the number in your inbox, how many unread emails you have, and there's a voice that tells you how many unheard voicemails you have. The amount of battery life left on your phone or laptop is expressed in a number, as is the date. Food packaging shows the quantity of the contents. There is a number for TV channels, television series seasons, and episodes for the podcast you're listening to. Right now, I see 7 where I am, expressed through date and time, font size, zoom level, and more. Around the room, there are several more. Look around you right now. How many numbers do you see? Because numbers...
Me and baby girl, we see angel numbers all day, every day, don't we? The bomb mom.
Are everywhere. They're a valuable channel between the physical and spiritual worlds. You don't need to do anything. Just be open to receiving. It's a passive action. When you answer the call of your angel and think, yes, hello, I hear you. What's your message? You're open to hearing the messages. You might feel, sense, or know what they're trying to tell you. If you don't hear, or intuit, the messages in English, it's a good thing you're reading this book. Guidebooks such as the one you're reading right now translate the vibrational language of angel numbers into words that you can understand. A note about interpreting numbers. In addition to reading the interpretations in this book, listen to your own angel's guidance that comes from thoughts, feelings, visions, sounds, and experiences. A frequent question is, how do I know these feelings are real rather than wishful thinking? When you read interpretations of angel numbers, or oracle cards and such, in books, you'll either identify with their truth, or you won't. When you listen to the voice inside you, you'll know. The vibration of truth is different than the vibration of general advice or wishful thinking. You'll get a different feeling. For some people, it's a feeling that suddenly all is understood. You might experience an aha moment or a desire to explore further. Once you get comfortable with having conversations with your angel, they will speak to you directly in terms you understand. They might advise you to check your email or lead you to open a specific music playlist. They know what's going on. Angels might also give you names or information that make no sense to you at the moment, but that will later on. For example, they might mention the name James to you. You don't know anyone named James. Then you encounter someone named James, a street called James, or a business with the name in it, such as James Street Market. Or perhaps the name Sandy, and instead of a person named Sandy or Sandra, you encounter a beach. Angels are direct, but they can also be cheeky. Archangels, the specialists. Most of the time, the numbers come from our angels, but sometimes the message comes from an archangel. Each archangel has its own specialty. Think of them as department heads. Michael is the great protector.
That's right.
Jophiel is the archangel who supports artists and creatives. Archangel Gabriel is known as the angel of communication. Raphael is the one known to aid in physical healing. Raphael can help with mental health or addiction by providing you with new ideas and information. He might lead you to the right medical professionals to set you on your healing path. Chamuel's mission is to help bring peace to the world, and he can help you when you're experiencing anxiety or challenges in a relationship. Chamuel helps you deal with adversity and gives you courage when you feel defeated and alone. An archangel, then, might send you a number when you need a specialist in the angelic realm rather than a generalist. They also might send you a number when you are exceptionally blessed. Call on archangels anytime when you need extra assistance or a specific request. They can be in several places at the same time. Okay, but how do angel numbers work? How do angel numbers work? And how do angel numbers differ from ordinary numbers? How do you know that you do not merely see what you want to see? Do not intend to confuse you, but they require faith on your part. When receiving messages from the celestial realm, you need to trust yourself and the angels. Have faith in both. When you learn to trust yourself, you'll know when what you're seeing is a message. While you might be excited when you see a number you want to see, you'll have an innate knowing when the number comes from the celestial realm. Trust yourself and trust your intuition. When you do so, you'll have a clear sense of knowing, which will eliminate doubt. If you're wondering, is this number the angels or my ego? Ask your celestial pit crew. How to connect with and hear your angels. When you recognize your angel numbers as calls to connect, it's essential to raise your vibration, as discussed in Chapter 2. Eat higher vibration foods. Avoid excess negative world news as much as possible without keeping yourself entirely in the dark. Avoid social media, not just because of news or the fact that it can be a combative place, but because social media makes it easy for us to compare ourselves to others. None of these vibration-raising activities need to be permanent, but a digital detox can do wonders for our state of mind. It can make us happier, resulting in better sleep, and yes, it can also help us connect to our angels. One person I know was advised by a celestial guide to give up cannabis, alcohol, coffee, and Facebook, though she only occasionally used the first two. Numerous benefits resulted from her doing so. After she reduced her Facebook sessions to once or twice a week or less, and stopped the mindless scrolling of her newsfeed, she felt happier. She discovered that she had a lot more free time to engage in projects. She read more books and learned more useful information. Quitting the substances made her mind much clearer. Overall, she became more productive and had more vivid dreams, some of which contain guidance themselves. You'll find that when you connect to your angels regularly, they might show scenes from your future in your dreams. You'll know that they're potential scenarios of your future rather than mere dreams because of how real they feel. Whether you want confirmation that the numbers you are seeing are angel numbers or you're looking for further guidance, what follows are some actions you can take to connect and listen. Use any or all of them. Meditate. Meditation can take many forms. You can search online for a guided meditation specifically for angel interactions, or you can simply sit silently and ask your angels questions such as, what do I need to know right now? Is this number a message from the angels or my ego? Or any other specific question. If you want a dialogue or long-form answers, ask open-ended questions. Queries with yes or no answers have their place, but are limited. If you're uncomfortable meditating because your mind wanders, don't worry about it. A chattering mind, what Buddhists refer to as the monkey mind, is common. Many meditations advise students to think of their thoughts as clouds. Observe the cloud thought and let it pass. However, our angels communicate with us through our thoughts. One action you can take when your mind starts to wander to your task list or daydreams is to ask your conscious self, is this thought serving me right now? If the answer is no, surrender it. If the answer is yes, follow it, because it might lead you to further guidance. Sometimes what people think is a wandering mind is actually guidance or the
have had even more profound effects on other nations.
This is Audible.
Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of
Do textbooks, film strips, and American history courses achieve results they seek with regard to our heroes? Surely textbook.
This is Audible.
Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Lot.
And how did it change when Columbus arrived? Wrote a student of mine in 1991. However, back then everything was presented as if it were the full picture, she continued. So I never thought to doubt that it was. As a result of all this, most high school seniors are hamstrung in their efforts to analyze controversial issues in our society. I know because I encounter these students the next year as college freshmen. We've got to do better. 5/6 of all Americans never take a course in American history beyond high school. What our citizens learn in high school forms much of what they know about our past. This book includes 10 chapters of amazing stories, some wonderful, some ghastly, in American history. Arranged in roughly chronological order, these chapters don't relate mere details, but events and processes with important consequences. Yet most textbooks leave out or distort these events and processes. I know, because for several years I've been lugging around 12 textbooks, taking them seriously as works of history and ideology, studying what they say and don't say, and trying to figure out why. I chose the 12 as representing the range of textbooks available for American history courses. 2 of the books, Discovering American History and The American Adventure, are inquiry textbooks composed of maps, illustrations, and extracts from primary sources such as diaries and laws, all woven together by an overarching narrative. These books are supposed to invite students to do history themselves. The American Way, Land of Promise, The United States, A History of the Republic, American History, and The American Tradition are traditional high school narrative history textbooks. American Adventures, Life and Liberty, and The Challenge of Freedom are intended for junior high students, but are often used by slow senior high classes. Triumph provoked a torrent of criticism abroad. By the mid-1920s, Wilson's successors reversed his policies in Latin America. The authors of history textbooks know this. For a chapter or 2 after Wilson, they laud our good neighbor policy. Do textbooks, film strips, and American history courses achieve the results they seek with regard to our heroes? Surely textbook authors want us to think well of the historical figures they treat with such sympathy. And on a superficial level, at least, we do. Almost no recent high school graduates have anything bad to say about either Keller or Wilson. But are these 2 considered heroes? I have asked hundreds of mostly white college students on the first day of class to tell me who their heroes in American history are. As a rule, they don't pick Helen Keller, Woodrow Wilson, Christopher Columbus, Miles Standish, or anyone else in Plymouth, John Smith, or anyone else in Virginia, Abraham Lincoln, or indeed anyone else in American history whom the textbooks implore them to choose. Our post-Watergate students view all such establishment heroes cynically. They're boring. Some students choose none. That is, they say they have no heroes in American history. Other students display the characteristically American sympathy for the underdog by choosing African Americans, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, perhaps Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, or Frederick Douglass. Or they choose men and women from other countries, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, or, now fading fast, Mikhail Gorbachev or Boris Yeltsin. In one sense, this is a healthy development. Surely we want students to be skeptical. Probably we want them to challenge being told whom to believe in. But replying none is too glib, too nihilistic for my taste. It is, however, an understandable response to heroification. For when textbook authors leave out the warts, the problems, the unfortunate character traits, the mistaken ideas, they reduce heroes from dramatic men and women to melodramatic stick figures. Their inner struggles disappear, and they become goody-goody, not merely good. Students poke fun at the goody-goodiness of them all by patting on Helen Keller jokes. In doing so, school children are not poking cruel fun at a disabled person. They are deflating a pretentious symbol, good to be real. Nonetheless, our loss of Helen Keller, anything but a source of jokes, is distressing. Knowing the reality of her quite amazing life might empower not only deaf or blind students, but any schoolgirl, and perhaps boys as well. For like other peoples around the world, we Americans need heroes. Statements such as, if Martin Luther King were alive, he'd, suggest one function of historical figures in our contemporary society. Most of us tend to think well of ourselves when we have acted as we imagine our heroes might have done. Who our heroes are, and whether they are presented in a way that makes them lifelike, hence usable as role models, could have a significant bearing on our conduct in the world. We now turn to our first hero, Christopher Columbus. Care should be taken to vindicate great names from pernicious erudition, wrote Washington Irving, defending heroification. Irving's 3-volume biography of Columbus, published in 1828, still influences what high school teachers and textbooks say about the great navigator. Therefore, it will come as no surprise that heroification has stolen from us the important facets of his life, leaving only melodramatic minutiae. Chapter 2, 1493. The true importance of Christopher Columbus. Columbus is above all the figure with whom the modern age, the age by which we may delineate these past 500 years, properly begins. And in his character, as in his exploits, we are given an extraordinary insight into the patterns that shaped the age at its start, and still for the most part shape it today. Kirkpatrick Sale. As a subject for research, the possibility of African discovery of America has never been a tempting one for American historians. In a sense, we choose our own history, or more accurately, we select those vistas of history for our examinations, which promise us the great satisfaction. And we have had little appetite to explore the possibility that our founding father was a black man. Samuel D. Marble. History is the polemics of the victor. William F. Buckley, Jr. What we committed in the Indies stands out among the most unpardonable offenses ever committed against God and mankind, and this trade in Indian slaves as one of the most unjust, evil, and cruel among them. Bartolomé de las Casas. In 1493, Columbus stole all he could see. Traditional verse, updated. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed in from the blue. American history books present Columbus pretty much without precedent, and they portray him as America's first great hero. In so canonizing him, they reflect our national culture. Indeed, now that President's Day has combined Washington's and Lincoln's birthday, Columbus is one of only 2 people the United States honors by name in a national holiday. The one date that every school child remembers is 1492. And sure enough, all 12 textbooks I surveyed include it. But they leave out virtually everything that is important to know about Columbus and the European exploration of the Americas. Meanwhile, they make up all kinds of details to tell a better story and to humanize Columbus so that readers will identify with him. Columbus, like Christ, was so pivotal that historians use him to divide the past into epochs, making the Americas before 1492 pre-Columbian. American history textbooks recognize Columbus's importance by granting him an average of 800 words, 2.5 pages, including a picture and a map. A lot of space considering all the material books must cover. Their heroic collective account goes something like this. Born in Genoa, Italy, of humble parents, Christopher Columbus grew up to become an experienced seafarer. He sailed the Atlantic as far as Iceland and West Africa. His adventures convinced him that the world must be round. Therefore, the fabled riches of the East, spices, silk, and gold, could be had by sailing west, superseding the overland route through the Middle East, which the Turks had closed off to commerce. To get funding for his enterprise, Columbus beseeched monarch after monarch in Western Europe. After at first being dismissed by Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain, Columbus finally got his chance when Queen Isabella decided to underwrite a modest expedition. Columbus outfitted 3 pitifully small ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, and set forth from Spain. The journey was difficult. The ship sailed west into the unknown Atlantic for more than 2 months. The crew almost mutinied and threatened to throw Columbus overboard. Finally, they reached the West Indies on October 12, 1492. Although Columbus made 3 more voyages to America, He never really knew he had discovered a new world. He died in obscurity, unappreciated. Yet without his daring, American history would have been very different. For in a sense, Columbus made it all possible. Unfortunately, almost everything in this traditional account is either wrong or unverifiable. The authors of history textbooks take us on a trip of their own, away from the facts of history into the realm of myth. They and we have been duped by an outrageous concoction of lies, half-truths, truths, and omissions that is in large part traceable to the first half of the 19th century. The textbook's first mistake is to underplay previous explorers. People from other continents had reached the Americas many times before 1492. Even if Columbus had never sailed, other Europeans would have soon reached the Americas. Indeed, Europeans may already have been fishing off Newfoundland in the 1480s. In a sense, Columbus's voyage wasn't the first, but the last discovery of the Americas. It was epoch-making because of the way in which Europe responded. Columbus's importance is therefore primarily attributable to changing conditions in Europe, not to his having reached a new continent. American history textbooks seem to understand the need to cover social changes in Europe in the years leading up to 1492. They point out that history passed the Vikings by, and devote several pages to the reasons Europe was ready this time to take advantage of the discovery of America. As one textbook puts it, unfortunately, none of the textbooks provides substantive analysis of the major changes that prompted the new response. All but one of 12 books I examined begin the Columbus story with Marco Polo and the Crusades. American adventures start simply with Columbus. Here is their composite account of what was happening in Europe. Life in Europe was slow-paced. Curiosity about the rest of the world was at a low point. Then, many changes took place in Europe during the 500 years before Columbus's discovery of the Americas in 1492. People's horizons gradually widened, and they became more curious about the world beyond their own localities. Europe was stirring with new ideas. Many Europeans were filled with burning curiosity. They were living in a period called the Renaissance, what started Europeans thinking new thoughts and dreaming new dreams. A series of wars called the Crusades were partly responsible. The Crusades caused great changes in the ways that Europeans thought and acted. The desire for more trade quickly spread. The old trade routes to Asia had always been very difficult. The accounts resemble each other closely. Sometimes different textbooks even use the same phrases. Overall, the level of scholarship is discouragingly low, perhaps because their authors are more at home in American history than European history. They provide no real causal explanations for the age of European conquest. Instead, they argue for Europe's greatness in transparently psychological terms. People grew more curious. Such arguments make sociologists smile. We know that nobody measured the curiosity level in Spain in 1492, or can with authority compare it to the curiosity level in, say, Norway or Iceland in 1005. Here is the account in the American way. What made these Europeans so daring was their belief in themselves. The people of Europe believed that human beings were the highest form of life on earth. This was the philosophy, or belief, of humanism. It was combined with a growing interest in technology or tools and their uses. The Europeans believed that by using their intelligence, they could develop new ways to do things. This isn't the place to debate the precepts or significance of humanism, a philosophical movement that clashed with Orthodox Catholicism. In any case, humanism can hardly explain Columbus, since he and his royal sponsors were devout Orthodox Catholics, not humanists. The American way tells us, nonetheless, that Columbus had the humanists' belief that people could do anything if they knew enough, tried enough. Columbus as the little engine that could. Several textbooks claim that Europe was becoming richer, and that the new wealth led to more trade. Actually, as the historian Angus Calder has pointed out, Europe was smaller and poorer in the 15th century than it had been in the 13th, owing in part to the bubonic plague. Some teachers still teach what their predecessors taught me 40 years ago, that Europe needed spices to disguise the taste of bad meat. But the bad Turks cut off the spice trade. 3 books, The American Tradition, Land of Promise, and The American Way, repeat this falsehood. In the words of Land of Promise, then, after 1453, when Constantinople fell to the Turks, trade with the East all but stopped. But A.H. Liebeyer disproved this statement in 1915. Turkey had nothing to do with the development of new routes to the Indies. On the contrary,
I am a glueless wig maker. I've been a glueless wig maker for the past 12 years. Now, our wigs, all you have to do is put them on. You don't need glue, you don't need tape, you don't need nothing. It comes with an elastic.
Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Blood Sagittarius. My name is Robin. Capricorn, today we're going to do a career and finance reading. We're going to talk about your money, honey. We're going to see what's going on with your job, your business, your school, your education, your finances. Let's see what they want to talk about. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what you need to know and what's coming towards you. Spirit guys, what's up with Capricorn Collective and their job, their business, their career, their school, their education, their finances? What are we talking about today? Not for you, and why? Alrighty. So it looks like you might be moving in a different direction. Maybe you got let go of a job. Maybe you've left a job. You're starting something new. You're trying to figure out what's going on and why this didn't work out. Let's find out what they want to say. Yeah, Ace of Cups in reverse is how we start this. So definitely a beginning that didn't go the way you wanted it to go. So let's see where you're heading and what they want to say about that. And Capricorn, for those of you who are interested, I am doing personal readings. If you want one, the link is in the description. The link is in the description box below. There's definitely an ending here. 10 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 6 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you walked away from something that didn't serve you here. But look at this. You're dreaming about something new, and those pigs are flying, so it's about to come through. So with every door that closes, another opens. But there's the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, what else we got here? If this is an offer or an opportunity, we'll see what it is when we get there. 2 of Wands, and the Lovers with Queen of Swords. Okay, on the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. So I feel like things are going to start to move quickly here with this new opportunity, but let's talk about the present and what you're facing, because I feel like clearly you walked away from something, you got fired for something, and maybe you had to stop a business that you were working on. What a Capricorn, what do you want to say? Oh, and it's not an easy change. 3 of Swords, you're pretty hurt with how this ended. Oh, look at that. Someone might have betrayed you. The 5 of Cups, you might have really wanted this to work. The 7 of Cups, the Tower. Ooh, and the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. Capricorn, what the hell happened? So, well, whatever happened really hurt you. You're confused. You don't understand this change. But let me tell you, whenever we have those changes that we don't understand, we will. It's the universe kind of correcting our course and putting us in a different position. The foundations weren't strong there, but you'll get your realization. You'll get your epiphany. You will move forward somewhere better. Right now, this Capricorn that the collective we're connecting to is feeling really burdened, really weighed down, really, there's been a really painful ending here. You walked away from something. I don't know if you willingly walked away from it, or if they terminated you, or if you just like quit in the moment, whatever, or if you had to let go of a business that really meant a lot. But I have like a really heavy feeling here. There's a lot of sorrow, a lot of regret. You did not want this to be over, but it is. And there's the Wheel of Fortune. So it is. So they want you to see why you shouldn't have belonged there. Maybe you weren't being valued. Maybe you were doing the wrong business. You weren't following your passion. You were doing something for the wrong reason. We'll find out as we go through. But there's a lot of planning here in the near future. And there's a lot of conflict. Wow. Oh, my God, Capricorn. 5 of Swords, 9 of Swords, the 5 of Wands. You turned your back on this. There could have been a lot of conflict with your coworkers. Maybe there was pettiness. Maybe there's a lot of competition in the field that you were in. You couldn't get a leg up. But there is a really painful end. You could be blaming yourself. You could be blaming other people. Ultimately, Capricorn in the past coming into the present is a very frustrated, sad, low energy. Things didn't go your way here on the career front. So we're going to see what the future holds, because the future looks a lot better than your motherfucking past here. So the page of, there's death. It's also, okay, so through, okay, there's the conflict, there's the fighting, there's the competition. There might have just been a toxic work environment where you just had to leave because for your mental health, you couldn't handle it anymore. I've been in those environments before. Wow, those two stay together. You might have just come into a petty boss or whatever that was, but the death is a painful ending, but the point of death is where you're going is going to be good. It's just a difficult transition to get there. So you can choose, look, if we look in the back here, you can choose to focus on the negative, or we can choose to focus on the positive and continue to move forward towards our dreams. You know, maybe it's the universe, yeah, because you have some opportunities here. We have the Page of Wands and we have the Page of Cups. What I was about to say is maybe you weren't following your passion or your dreams, or wasn't being valued, and you need to go somewhere your skills are going to be used, where you will be valued. And that's where the Page of Cups comes in. So what's this opportunity? What do you want to say about this Page of Cups? Because this is a magical, this is following your heart. This is something that makes you excited. Maybe you weren't excited here. You're like dreading going to work. You hated doing what you were doing. Let's see here. Whoa, the King of Pentacles, eh? Oh, but the Two of Swords. And the Emperor. Wow, Capricorn.
I called the Ken Nugent law firm after my wreck, and they got me over $112,000. I'm not broke anymore.
Our job is to maximize the value of things. Big case or small, one call, that's all.
Wow, Capricorn. The Magician. Okay, the Six of Swords, and there's the Seven. Yeah, see, where you were before, it was definitely some kind of toxic work environment. And if it wasn't a toxic environment, it was not where you were supposed to be. You were definitely being guided and put in a different direction. You're supposed to be a leader or some sort here with the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. You're bossing up here, Capricorn. You're leveling up. You don't see it though, because you know she's blind. She's got the blindfold on. So it's just understanding that that wasn't where you're supposed to be. You have an excellent opportunity in here. You know, after the disappointment, you just got to turn your back. So like I said, you're bossing up. The Emperor and the King of Pentacles are both bosses. They're both stable, very successful, very influential. They're good bosses. They're good leaders. I feel it's going to move quick here. There's the Ace of Wands. So you'll be passionate about this. You'll like this. You know, instead of dragging your feet to work every day, you're going to jump out of bed and hippity hoppity all the way to work. So what's the Ace of Pentacles in reverse? Huh. Well. All right. And there was, and look at, first of all, Capricorn reading. Can we through a Capricorn reading without the Empress? You have to come out. I do feel like your skills weren't being used. I feel like there was a burden here. I cannot remember what the cards came in. For some reason, I want to put them like that. I feel like it was weighing you down. You knew you were meant to do something different. You knew that you were meant to be somewhere else, but you were just, maybe whatever reason you were staying, not anymore. You're going to create the luxury and comfort. This is the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. Make it happen. After every disappointment comes a new opportunity. Every door closes, a new one opens, right? So it's about letting go of the burdens of this. There's that death again. It's a really difficult transition here, Cap. This came out twice. This is representative of a difficult transition. So it's been a burden. It's been, I mean, you just, maybe you just didn't feel like you were treated fair. We have the why. So you're not really sure why that happened. But the fact is you're the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles. So change your perspective, because this is what's coming in your future. Is the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles. So utmost success, utmost happiness, a balance between your work and your emotional state. The Empress then is earth magic, an earth magician. She's successful. She gets the wreath. She gets what she wants. She gets the comfort and abundance that she deserves. That's exactly what this new opportunity, it's a cool opportunity. It's like after like your Cinderella and the stepsisters here were pushing around, and then the prince is coming in and giving you a job at the royal castle or something. That's a really weird, because you're the star. You do have some kind of gift and some skill. There's the Ace of Cups. Like I said, you're going to be emotionally fulfilled here. I don't think you were there, because you had the Ace of Cups in reverse. It was just disappointment. Maybe you got down a career path, you thought it was one thing, and you're just like, damn, it's not what I want to do. So what's coming through? Sure. Like I said, it's going to feel magical. It's going to feel special. It's going to make you enjoy what you're doing. You've done a lot of planning, or you're about to do a lot of planning. Maybe there's the High Priestess. So wow. Okay, the High Priestess and what I was about to talk about. Let's get rid of the Lovers for a second. We'll talk about that. I was talking about the Two of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and then the High Priestess came out. Empress and the High Priestess. Very intelligent, using your experiences to get where you want. That's also what makes you a good leader and a good boss, right? As overcoming these obstacles, these challenges, learning these things about people, about experiences, about jobs, about companies, but you're doing a lot of planning. Maybe you quit something and you're starting your own business, because the Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords is a planning energy. But she's a woman scorned, baby. She's had some shiznick happen. She's not happy about it, but she's going to do what she needs to do to get where she needs to. You're not afraid to put your head down and work hard. And the High Priestess, again, her biggest skill and gift is turning the negative into positive, the obstacles into blessings. So just a bumper, that was just a little speed bump getting you where you're going, baby. And you're doing a lot of planning. So let's talk about the Lovers, because the Lovers is a big choice. It's a big decision to, okay, I understand. There's the death. Like, you might have had to, okay. Maybe there was something here that went against your moral compass, and you're doing things your own way. You're not going to go against your standards and your integrity to get success. That's what I feel, actually, now that I see these cards here. So maybe somebody asked you to back here, like, I'll just give an example. Like, I know in the construction industry, I used to own a business in that. And when you got a contract, like, oh, you need to give me leaf tickets. I want my $10,000. Like, they wanted.
I told y'all I was motherfucking High Priestess. She's tapping to me every time. Because every time you do a Capricorn reading, because I told you she's my personal reader. And then I want a birthday reading and a free reading. So I mean, and every time she actually told me, she said, yeah, I'm always tapping into your energy. She said, every time you do a Capricorn, the Empress came out of my readings to this personal reading for me. It's every reading you do, the Empress come out. It never fails for Capricorn. I already know. I know I'm the shit.
Those types of things, and I was like, go fucking buy your own tickets. I ain't buying your shit. But that was expected. So I feel like it's along the lines of that, where it was against your moral and ethical compass, and you don't understand, you're going to stay true to your ethics. And that's why you turned your back. You're not giving to that. And you're always going to have those temptations. You're always going to worry and wonder about that. But what you can do, Kath, is stay true to you and your integrity, your morals, and your ethics. And as long as you're following your heart, because the Lovers is a card of temptation, and as long as you're staying true to yourself, you will have success. Yeah, there's the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Swords, but I do feel that temptation is coming back in, but just walk away from it. There's the Sun. You know what's going to make you happy. You know what's going to make you content. Yeah, there's the Page of Wands. And there's the Hierophant. You're definitely supposed to be in a position of influence. Maybe they wanted you to do something to get a promotion, and you were like, no, I just can't do that. Whatever that would be, you're wounded from it. You got your walls up. You're even a little angry about it, but you're going to stay true to yourself. You're supposed to be a boss, or like I said, you're leveling up here. You're going to be happy with where you're going, but those temptations are still going to be here. They're not just going to leave. There's I think that was the Six of Pentacles again. Yep. So it's just about walking away from those takers, those people who are expecting, unethical behavior. If you're not comfortable with it, you're not comfortable with it. So stay balanced, stay authentic, stay true to yourself. It's your life. Like I said, every door closes, another opens. So where you're going is the Ten of Pentacles. So you're going to be happy with how this plays. You made the right decision. You had the courage, actually, to make, what's that guy? All this yellow. You had the courage to make the right decision, but it's been a little bit of a slow process, but that's changing because the Knight of Pentacles is fast movement. So things are going to move quick. Maybe people got word about your reputation, about how honorable you are, about how serious you are about this. So whatever that was, whatever that situation is for you, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles, that's unexpected wealth, unexpected opportunities, things moving better than you thought. So after stagnancy and disappointment, you're going to end up in a really good place, and it's because you stayed true to yourself, and that's all that you can ask. The universe will always reward you for standing up for what you believe in. So that clearly was not for you. It went against everything you believed in, and where you're going is going to be a great spot to be in. So what does Capricorn need to surrender to here? The beauty of the natural world. So take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. And the Soul card. What do you want to say to Capricorn? School. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school. And on the bottom, leadership. Take charge of the situation. So maybe you got to spruce up some skills, take an online course, whatever that is. I just heard the word real estate. So maybe some of you are going to be, becoming real estate agents or something. But just be true to yourself as you're going through. If you got to learn something, learn it, baby. do what you got to do to get where you're going. But this is it's like you have this idea. Look at it. The way I'm looking at him, he's got this magical epiphany and realization of what he wants. And nothing's going to stop him from getting it. He's going to follow his heart. So what is the energy oracle message here for Capricorn? Woman holding a coin. Let's get your message. And one comes out of the deck. It is in the book. It is in the book. On a card on this card sits on a beautiful chair holding a bright gold coin. When this card comes upright in a woman's reading, it's referring to her directly and a successful endeavor in her own finances. This card could be a signal. This card could also be a signal. But either this kind of for helpful assistance connected to the woman of wealth or business. So it could be a teacher, it could be a teacher online, could be a teacher in a course, could be a new job coming and offering you a position, whatever that is for you. This woman's going to help you out. She has your best interest at heart. Which cards? Okay, let's grab these cards and look at your potential outcome, Cap. We'll see where you are in a month. We'll see how this opportunity is going. If it's starting to go through, if you're still in the planning phases, I do feel you're in the planning phase right now. Doing your business plan, getting your funding in place, or handing out your resumes, pounding the pavement, doing what you're doing. Spirit guides, where is Capricorn in a month? Talk to us. So now I say potential because I always free will. And when I say outcome, where are you in a month? There's strength again. There's the High Priestess again. There's the World. 3 major arcanas, Cap. Woo. 3 major, just 6 of Swords. You're moving on up. Okay, and Temperance. So 4 major arcanas. 5. Holy camoly. This is a major change, but they're all upright. So this is positive change. What's under that? Sun. Capricorn, you're gonna be happy. You made the right decision. Whatever happened was meant to happen. The High Priestess is like, look at you feeling free. Look at the strength feeling free. They're just looking out, observing, thinking, damn, I'm in the right spot. I know I did the right thing. I'm starting to see the rewards. The world, like, look at all these, they're both really free. Really, like, they're just happy. Free. They have that sense of freedom. What's that song? I don't know. I'm singing. I'm dancing. So I'm pretty happy. So things are moving well. The 6 of Swords is moving forward. So had the patience, you've balanced the different aspects, you're on the right path. Things are starting to progress forward, but with the Hangman, there's still a little, it's not like overnight success, but you're moving forward, you're seeing progress, you're on this new cycle, you're really happy with where you're going. The 6 of Pentacles, you're creating this balance, right? There could still be that there's judgment. It will be successful, but the Page of Cups again. So like if you're waiting for funding from the bank in order to get a loan to start the business, it's coming through. If you're starting your job, they're going to hold your 2 weeks pay. So you still have a little financial crunch, but you're happy. You're really happy with where things are going. You see why that went the way that it went. And it's so that you could be in this position. You're definitely supposed to be in a leadership role. And with with Temperance and the High Priestess, people are looking up to you. They're respecting the decisions that you've made, the moves that you've done. And you've balanced all these elements. You're on a new cycle. So that cycle's done. This cycle's on. You're moving forward because you have the courage to go after what you want. And not everybody in life has that strength and courage, but you do. And you're really happy with how this is playing out for you. And I believe you're moving into a leadership role. So you're moving into a person of influence, whatever that may be. You're supposed to be in a position of oh my God. Look at that. Look at all these major arcanas. Like, have you ever seen so many come up? This is major life changes. This is going to change everything. And this is the golden ticket. You got the golden ticket. If we're on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you have the golden ticket. Mr. Beast did that too, which I thought was pretty funny. But anyway, you're the Empress. And you're starting to see that. If you didn't see that before, you're definitely recognizing that within yourself. Like I said, you have the golden ticket here. This is going to be amazing for you. So I wish you the best of luck going forward with that opportunity, whether this is a business or a new job, whatever you're doing, Kat, you're going to feel relieved. You feel good, you see it moving forward and you like where you're going. So let's close this reading off with a yes or no style question. So if you like my style, I do ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Helps my channel to grow. I don't know why the fuck I did that. Because it's magical. Wish, 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 wish. So let's do a yes or no question. So if the card comes up, it's yes. Well, The card comes down, it's no. So let's get an answer to your question. I wish you the best of luck. I know you're on the right path. It's going to turn out way better than what that was back there. Universe didn't want you back there. They wanted you standing in your power here. So yes or no? What's the answer to your question? The answer is a big yes. So I got Capricorn. I truly wish you the best of luck. Until next time.
You can't always avoid migraine triggers like your next period. Qlipta can help prevent migraines. You can't always prevent...
Hello there, Aries. Welcome to your timeless readings. And whenever you have to come across it, that's when you're meant to see this reading. And this is what Spirit has to tell you. Let's see what's going on with what happened in the past. Let's tap into that energy of the past that is going to be affecting your present. Let's see. Lead. Okay. You're born to lead. And we have observe and choose your battles. Wow. Okay. So you might have been recently put into a leadership role, and you're also observing maybe the people around you, but choose your battle. So I feel like if you are now a new boss or in a new position, don't jump to conclusions. Don't watch things play out. This was what in the past. So maybe this is what you did, and you didn't fight with anyone. Watch to see how they actually acted, because sometimes what you think you see is not, it's something more to something here, is what I'm feeling here. So observing was very helpful. Ooh, we have love here. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking, well, we don't lead in love here. Let's see, unless this brings you to a love connection. Okay. Let's see, why is the lead here? Like the Emperor energy, your energy. Emotional loss. So maybe you're trying to help someone with their emotional loss. Get them through it. Leading them through something. Love begins. Oh, observe and love begins. You might have, in the past, did you help someone with a loss, emotional loss, and this led to a love connection? Could have been for someone. Love begins would be like the Ace of Cups here. Something happened here. Okay, choose your battles. Movement, choices, decisions. Okay, you could decide which way to go with something here. And it might be better off not to fight with everyone if that's what's coming up for some reason. And disconnect and boredom. Okay, feeling disconnected somehow. All right. I'd like 4 of Cups. Might be a missed opportunity too. Oh, jeez. Okay, now let's see what's going on in the present. See how this past is affecting your present now. We have here refusing to see. What's going on with you guys? You're being stubborn here? Joy and stability. There might be something coming in you're not seeing. Challenging times. So someone might be focused on the negative and not on the positive right now. This is if you see something, but there is joy and stability. And you might be going through a little bit of a challenge right now. But trust that this is all meant for a reason. So if you're going through a rough time, there's a reason for it. It's gonna bring you joy in the end. Okay, what do you refuse to see? Let's see, what are you refusing to see? I'm not picking up your head, looking down. A spiritual union. Ooh, there's a lot about coming in. Maybe there's someone around you that is interested in you and you're not seeing them. And there might be more to it than you realize. Wow. That's like the 2 of Cups here. Intuition. Okay, trust your intuition. Intuition is the key here. And what about these challenging times? Awareness. This is the Magician. You're manifesting. So even though the things are challenging, realize that we create our own reality. So stay positive. And then there's a material harvest that's coming in. Trust that things are going to work out. Trust that you're going through a little bump. Everything doesn't go smoothly all the time. Got a little bump in the road to smooth out. Okay, so now, what are the hidden influences? What are the hidden influences? So I almost feels like we have a love connection coming in when you least expect it here. Like, okay, we have here awaiting results. heal. Third eye chakra. I don't know. Intuition's coming a lot in these readings. So you're healing some. I think you're helping someone to heal, and you're waiting of results here. You could be healing too, of course. When sometimes with someone else heal, you healed also. But your third eye chakra means that your visions, you're seeing things, you're open up to them, because with that person with the head down there, they're like not wanting to look at them and trying to take control over them. That's what it feels like. You're trying to be in control of something that is really to just go with the flow, and it's going to work out so much better. Awaiting results. Let's see. New beginnings. Yeah, there's something coming in here. Be like the Fool card, Aries, Aquarius energy. And what are you healing here? This be like the Star card, healer. Some hopes and dreams. Mental conflict. Okay, so you're going to heal some kind of mental conflict that is so this is hidden influences. Something in your mental state is
all right.
State is disrupting something or interfering in something. But you're going to heal that. Let's see here. Why do we have the third eye? Throat chakra too. Okay, so this is seeing things, hearing things. I'm not hearing things so much, but seeing things with third eye and then speaking of it. This might be using your intuition. I'm getting the word seer. Are you a seer? Do you see things? Do you tell people what you see? It almost feels like the hidden influence is that you are seeing things so you could tell people. So you could, tell them, hey, I saw this in my mind's eye, in my third eye. Wow. And then we have patience. Be patient with yourself. Patience is a key here. Okay, now what is your energy? Let's tap into your energy. What's going on with you? Throat chakra. Wow, you got the throat chakra on both decks. You need to express yourself. You need to speak. Find balance and shine. Wow. And what's this card over here? Heal. That felt like a shine to me too. Okay, so speak out. Find your balance, speak out, and you shine. This should really take you somewhere here. You might be feeling alone at this time, but that will pass. Let's see. Sometimes we have to be alone a little bit. Okay, so now, why is the throat chakra here? I think changes. We have 5s here. Shadow. It almost feels like you have to face something you need to speak about. So maybe there's something that you're not speaking about to someone, and it looks like you have to face that. Something that's in the shadows here. Something that you're not looking at. Okay, finding the balance. Let's see. Destiny. Ooh, will, fortune, divine timing, destiny. Things are coming in. They're going to come into balance in time here. Shine. And with deception and envy. Okay. This is, people are envious of what your talent or what you're able to do. I feel like someone really has a strong talent, abilities for seeing sight here. Intuition. And they're not utilizing it. Feels very strong here, and other people are jealous that you have this gift. Passion ignited. Okay, that could be love. That could be just a passion within yourself. Okay, so now let's see. What is the influences of others? Let's see what's going on with that. Spread your wings. People encouraging you to open up to your spiritual gifts. And control, maybe someone's trying to control you too. Dreams coming true. It feels like there's someone that is trying to control you, but there's others that are trying to help you to embrace these gifts that you have. And we have solar plexus. See, having enough confidence in yourself, the solar plexus chakra. You need to have the confidence to know that you're capable of doing this. Okay, let's see. What about spread your wings? Stand your ground, spread your wings. Ooh. So I think there's people that are behind you, backing you up, and then you have a person here that is very envious of this, and probably envious that people are standing behind you and encouraging you when they're trying to keep you from moving ahead. The control here. Let's see. We have partnership and alliances. This person, someone's trying to control your partnership and your friends and your alliances. They're trying to keep them from you. Okay, dreams coming true. Your spiritual strength. You're very strong, very capable here. We have here a firm foundation. Look at that. It's like the Four of Wands. Long-term commitment to something. Okay, let's see here. Now we'll go to what should you do? What does Spirit want you to do? We have opportunity beckons. Okay, watch out for opportunities. They're coming in. And something's coming together. There's a union coming together, a partnership. And is the opportunity that's coming in, that's something coming together. And it's going to be a very sacral connection here. We have the crown chakra, very spiritual, very sacral. So something is coming in. Just be ready for it. Opportunity beckons. Open to it. And it's going to bring you a new vitality. Okay, now let's clarify this. Opportunity beckons. So maybe you're feeling a little bored at this time, but just know that you're in a pause stage maybe because something big is coming. So just know that sometimes when something's kind of at a standstill or some quiet, because something's on the horizon coming in here. Okay, what about this coming together? Prosperity begins. Yes, look at that. Just wait for it, and when it comes in, act on it. The crown chakra, you'll know. Firm foundation, yeah. This could be a very long-term commitment here. And we have sacrifice. You might feel like you're sacrificing something here. Or maybe someone has to sacrifice something to move ahead. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to do the final outcome. Balance.
Share your journey on Facebook and get inspired to try something.
Feeling alone? Rest and reconsider. Okay. We have move too. We got rest. We have move. Okay. So there's going to be you're coming into balance. Just, you might be feeling alone as you're doing this, but it's because you need to rest. When you come into balance, it's just probably you've been doing a lot. And then at the right time, you'll end up moving here. Making the move. Just trust your intuition. Okay, why is the balance card here? This would be like temperance. Come into balance. Sagittarius energy. And we have material, spiritual prosperity. This is all going to come into play for you. A lot of prosperity. It keeps on coming up for you. Okay. And we have passion is ignited. Almost feels like you need to be alone to heal so that this passion is ignited within you. And the rest of we consider is wisdom. It's bringing you wisdom. Being alone has time for you to think things over. And you're acquiring wisdom. This would be like the hermit. I get this card, it feels like to me, sometimes it feels like the hermit, and sometimes it feels like, it's a hierophant, but sometimes it feels like the hermit too. Okay, now we have rest and rejuvenate. See, you must rest because things are going to start picking up. Things are going to start getting busy. Okay, so now let's do the tarot, and we'll see. Go through the past. What's going on with the past cards?
See, this is why I listen to all my placements, see, because they have Aries, Jupiter, Lilith, Chiron, and MC. See that Jupiter side, that's why a lot of times you hear readers say, listen to any placement you got. Because, you can't just look at that sun side. Now, Jupiter, I'm going to tell you, Jupiter in Aries, that's me. While Jupiter often encourages us to learn from others, Jupiter in Aries is more about self-teaching and self-learning. We mustn't be afraid to take risks and try things, whether we feel prepared or not. Trying and succeeding and trying and falling are both valuable ways of learning and growing.
Let's see, pass. Ooh, the Tower. So something might have surprised you in the past. Something came in suddenly. Something you were not expecting. Aries, Scorpio energy, but it puts you above the rest. Whatever that happened here, it's sort of. I almost feel like it forced you. Didn't we have lead here? That's what we had here. Lead. Yeah. So it's almost like forced you to take a stance or to prove that you're more than capable of doing something here. And we have here, and the King of Wands. Look at that. You're the king. You've also been dealing with a king. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So could be you, could be someone else that came in the past, that you dealt with in the past. I feel like it's your energy. Okay, and had something to do with music. It could be associated with music. Wands. Okay. Now, how does this go over to the present now? What's going on with this with present? I don't know. I feel like you really stood your ground here. See, in the present is bringing in prosperity for you. Commitment. 10 of Pentacles. And the King of Swords. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And also something from memories from the past. Something, the past, it was brought into the present here. Okay. But it brought in some kind of commitment or some kind of prosperity. And there's change here. Some kind of transition, transformation. Okay, King of Swords. Okay, what about the hidden influences? Okay, the Hangman. We had to wait for something. We did have that waiting in there. The Hierophant, maybe for a commitment, and it was a burden. But you had to wait because there's other things involved in this. So I had to be patient to wait.
Now, Jupiter is often known as the planet of luck, and its placement in your natal chart points to the area of life where you're granted gifts and blessings. Jupiter indicates your philosophical and spiritual world, views, perception of wealth, and your experiences of travel and long journeys.
Could be some kind of conformity too. But you did see things in different perspective because of this waiting. Okay, now what about your energy? The 5 of Cups, the Sun, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, although you might feel like you lost out on something, there's some kind of regret, remorse. There's something coming in there. There's new offer. There's love coming in here. Ace of Cups, and it's going to make you very happy. Could be with Leo. Okay, so now we're going to go for the next is the influences of others. Okay, influence of others. We have the Hermit.
So you're too busy to read the Bible. Well, what if your Bible reads itself to you? Well, that's exactly what...
The Hermit. The Knight of Pentacles. And something to do with work. Okay, so you're keeping things to yourself here with the Hermit here. You're not letting everybody know what you're up to. You're moving very slowly because of the influence of others here. And you're doing it in a very precise way, a very strategic way. You're making sure you do things correctly. It has something to do with your work. Okay, so this is Knight of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn you'd be dealing with. But I feel like this, maybe someone is helping you or influencing you somehow. You have a little boy here. They might act like a little boy, or there's a child. Maybe I don't think it is a little boy. A little boy could have something to do with this. Maybe you're keeping to yourself because you have a little boy. Something you're keeping quiet about something. Well, anyway, I feel like there might be someone around you that has a very like a little boyish way about them. And it's not bad. Kind of cute. Let's see here. I just want to move these out of the way a little bit. Okay. Now, what you should do, let's see, and we get on that. The Emperor, stand in your power here. The Emperor, Aries energy, your energy, and move quickly when the time is right. You have to wait for something. It's going to be a new beginning. But once you know the time is right, take control, take charge, move quickly. Aries energy, the Chariot is Cancer energy, and the Fool is Aries Aquarius energy. Because there's going to be a new opportunity presented to you. I think you'll have to wait, be patient on something, and then move. You'll know what to do. Your intuition is going to kick in. Okay, now the final outcome for you guys. What do we have for the final outcome? Stand your ground. We have the 9 of Wands. You're going to be celebrating something here. And I think your intuition, I feel like you're celebrating because of your intuition. And the Knight of Wands. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, someone could be coming passionately to you really quickly here. A lot of passion and desire. Okay, we have here, oh, they might be flying to you. We have an airplane. They might be at a distance. They don't have to be flying, but they could be at a distance. The Knight of Wands. But yeah, your intuition is really strong here. There might be something being revealed by this Knight of Wands, maybe hidden emotions. That's going to make you happy, but you might be a little bit protective of your energy at this time. Protect your assets too. Okay, so let's see what the word is. What's the word on this King of Wands? We have confess, together, want. Okay, some King of Wands from the past is going to confess they want to be together with you. They're going to make a little confession here. It might be through music. Maybe they write you a song. What about this King of Swords? We have important mystery about money. Ooh, and that's in the present energy. So let's see.
Some say the world has never been more divided, that we've never been more disconnected. But through our windows, we're able to see so much good every.
Ooh, you might be getting a bag of money. There's some kind of mystery about maybe where money came from, or some kind of bag of money. That makes sense. What about the Knight of Pentacles? Feelings, past life, thoughts. Okay, so maybe something that's influencing you. You're feeling thoughts of a past life that maybe you did something before. Something, when we start doing something new and we know how to do it, like right off the bat, it's like, wow. It's like I just picked this up like nothing, because you probably did it in the past life. And that's what I'm getting here, that maybe you're feeling this, or maybe this connection with this Knight of Pentacles, if it's not your energy, if it's someone else's, you're going to feel like you guys been together before. Now, what about this Knight of Wands? I just got two. Likely, will you? So this Knight of Wands is going to ask you a question. Will you something? Okay, let's see what signs we have. Okay, what signs can we be dealing with for Aries? What are the signs? Virgo, Libra, Cancer, Aries, and Leo. Okay, so this could be placement in your chart, placement other people's charts, past, present, and future. We have Virgo, Libra, Cancer, Aries, and Leo. Now we're going to do the letters. Going to do 11 letters, initials, first name, last name. If you get both someone's initials for both their first and last name, and they have a middle name, and you know that middle name, you get that initial also, all the better. Past, present, future, okay, only initials. We have R, K, Y, M, B, R, B L S A. Okay, so letters we have for you today are RKYMBRABLSA. Okay, now for the names. Let's see what names we get. What are the names? Come on, you guys. Shake out. Shake out. Oh, I got a few over there. Okay. Put that there. Okay, you don't want to come out. I'm going to just dig them. I feel like they're getting a little more stubborn now lately. Okay. I think I might have enough. We'll see. We have Daniel, Dory, D-O-R-Y. Ooh, look at this. Leo, and Aquarius want to show. Okay. Daniel, Dory, Tyrone, Anissa, A-N-I-S-S-A, Andrew, Kelby, K-E-L-B-I-E, Bob, Susan, S-U-S-A-N, Thelma, Madeline, M-A-G-D-A-L-E-N-E, Mike, Kimberly, and Sabine, S-A-B-E-E-N. Make sure I got them all. Okay. 13. All right, so those are names. So remember, guys, these are general readings. They're not personal readings. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Please let me know if it resonates. Please leave comments. I love to read your comments. And if it does not resonate,
Okay, Mike, it's all you now. Divert the asteroid off its path. Where's Mike? He's getting a haircut. He's getting a haircut now? Technically, it's not just any haircut. It's supercuts. I'm in and out super quick.
Hello, and welcome to What's Inside You Tarot, and welcome back to Tarot 101. Let's talk about how to read the tarot cards. So this video, we're going to be talking about the suit of wands. So as mentioned, the minor arcana are our daily activities. Wands are our passions, our emotions, not necessarily emotions. It could be how we feel about things, but it's really about our passion, our creativity. It's that aspect of ourselves. This is all representing fire, Aries, Leo, and Sag energy. So it represents a lot of our passion. Let's just get into this and see we're going to go card by card and see what they mean. So the Ace of Wands, again, the aces are always new beginnings, new starts, beginnings we don't see. But the Ace of Wands is a creative beginning that we're really passionate about, we're really excited about. This ace, though, does not necessarily mean that it is going to be successful. It just means that we're taking on a new adventure, something that we're really passionate about, something that we want to develop, and something that we want to create. When this ace is upside down, well, that means that it did not go well, but it could also mean that we're just kind of bored in the situation that we're in. We're not chasing our passions. We're not feeling creative. We're not feeling challenged. So the Ace of Wands could be a beginning that doesn't go the right way. There's still obstacles and things that we need to do, or we should go in a different direction, or it could just be boredom. We're not chasing our passions. You know, we're in a dead-end job and we just don't like where we're going. But the Ace of Wands is a new beginning. It's a new idea. It's chasing your passion. It's going after something that you want. Now, the Two of Wands has a few different meanings, but this is the card of planning. This is looking out at the world and planning 2 to 4 or 5 years down the road, creating your business plan, creating a strategy, creating goals, just looking as to where you're going. But it's also a card of a lack of appreciation. He's too busy looking forward. He doesn't appreciate what's in front of him. So we need to remember that we also have to plan for our future, but we need to focus on our present. So this could be someone who's not feeling appreciated in a relationship. They're not appreciating the blessings that they have in their life, and they're just looking forward all the time. So it's kind of the card of Alexander the Great, always chasing something new, but not stopping to smell the roses of what we have in front of us. Now, when the Two of Wands is in reverse, this is a lack of planning. If you started a business, you didn't create the business plan. If you went for a career and you handed out resumes, you didn't proof your resumes. There's a bunch of mistakes in it. This is a lack of planning, a lack of effort. This is a need to sit back and look at what you're creating to make sure you're paying attention to the details and the finer things. It's also, again, a lack of appreciation, not appreciating the small things. So The Three of Wands is a really good card. This means your ships are going to sail in. If you're in a business reading, an entrepreneur reading, this is excellent. This means it's going to be successful. The ships are coming through. You're going to get everything that it is that you want. So this is planning's done. You've done a good job planting, and now you're planning, and now you're going to get what it is that you want. But you're still waiting. It's not quite here yet. When the Three of Wands is in reverse, you're not going to get what you want out of the situation. It's kind of hopeless. You might have to move into a different direction. You didn't plan good enough. You didn't do the work behind the scenes. You're not ready for whatever it is that you want, and it's not going to happen. Kind of a negative card in reverse, but it's hopeless. You feel hopeless. You're not going to get what you want out of the situation. You might want to move in a different direction or take a step back, reevaluate, and do some more planning in order to get what it is that you want. So the Four of Wands is the card of success. It's the card of happiness. It's the card of celebration. It's the card of your ships coming in. You're getting what you want. These people in the card are pretty freaking happy. So you're getting exactly what you want. You're celebrating. It could signify marriage. It could signify home life, your family. It could also signify the twin flames if you believe in the twin flame soulmate journey. But this is a card of happiness, harmony, and celebration. And when the Four of Wands is in reverse, and again, this is debatable. Some tarot readers don't even read this card negative at all. For me, again, when I look at the reversals, it's always going to be the opposite of what it is when it's upright. This is disharmony. This is things not going your way.
Some readers don't read
with the results of what's happening. You're not happy with the situation that you're in. You need to make some changes because something is imbalanced. This is the card of disharmony and happiness. If you're in a relationship or a marriage reading, the couple's on different pages. They're not happy with each other. They're looking at things. There's an imbalance in the partnership. The prize. There's an imbalance in the partnership. Then we move on here to the Five of Wands, which clearly shows five people fighting. This is a card of conflict. This is a card of fighting. This is a card of strife. This is a card of people trying to get the upper hand on the other people. But this is conflict, war, and fighting. And it might be internal. Look at the cards. If it's with the High Priestess, well, there's an internal struggle here. But if it's with the Moon, you're fighting with people outside of you. Sometimes you don't even know that they're fighting with you until they come through. So it could be overt or covert. But either way, there is conflict in the situation that you're reading. But when it's in reverse, that means peace is there. It's coming to an end. Things are getting settled. People are working together. People, angers have, tempers have lowered. People aren't as angry anymore. People are at peace with what's happened, and you're moving forward in a peaceful manner. Now, always remember, after the conflict comes victory. So the Six of Wands is badass success. We got the victory wreath here. We got people getting attention. They're celebrating. They're happy. The horse is like really smug. I told you this would work out, bro. I told you. So this is a card of success. This is a card of getting what you want. In a reading, when it comes upright, you're happy. You're getting attention. Things are going in your favor. You're successful. Your business is booming. You got a lot of clients. When it's in reverse, this is failure. This is disappointment. This is setback. This is not getting what you want. It's kind of similar to the Three of Wands in reverse. You're feeling hopeless. You're feeling frustrated. You're not getting the success that you know you should have. So it's about taking a step back and reflecting on things. Do you need to go in a different direction? Do you need to make some changes? So it's all about basically a delay in getting what it is that you want. So the Seven of Wands is all about determination, but it can also be about defensive guardedness. It can be about arguing with people trying to get your attention, trying to get the upper ground. But really it's about determination to get what it is that you want. This guy is not going to let anybody stop him. He's going to get what he wants. He's determined to be successful. Period. Sometimes when you get what you want, that's when the real work begins, right? It can also represent somebody pushing someone away. If you're in a relationship reading, maybe they're emotionally guarded and they're pushing somebody away from them. But either way, it's determined, but it's also being guarded and getting the upper hand. Now, the Seven of Wands in reverse, this means giving up. You're thinking that's not going to work. You're giving up on a situation. You're not sure you want to continue to do this. You're ready to throw in the towel, throw in the gauntlet, and move on to something different. Now, if you're looking in the relationship, instead of pushing somebody away, it could be making themselves vulnerable. They're starting to open up. They're starting to come through and open their heart to somebody. But really, it's more about giving up. But it depends how the cards are reflecting around it. Now, the Eight of Wands is about forward movement. Where you are is not where you're going. There's a lot of change, a lot of fast movement, a lot of things changing. It's a card of success, so it's positive change. It's positive movement. Some readers read this as messages coming in, a message you've been waiting for. You want that job? That offer's coming through. You're getting that phone call. So this is about positive change and positive movement forward. And when it's upside down, it's about stagnancy. It's about moving backwards, taking one step back, maybe 5 steps back, but it's about delays in getting what you want. It's feeling defeated. It's getting frustrated. Things are not moving quick enough for you. So it's a card of delay, and this is a card of success. This is the card of stagnancy. This is the card of forward movement. So again, it's the opposite of what it is, then it's upright. When we're talking about the 9 of Wands, this is one guarded guy. He's got walls all around it. His head is wounded. This is the card of the wounded warrior. This is someone who's been around the block, someone who's had some challenges, someone who's had some obstacles. But this is, again, a guy who's determined. The point of the card is he's almost at the top of the mountain. He's almost placing that flag. He's about to get what he wants. He just has to keep going. He doesn't want to give up. So, I mean, if you look at behind him, he can just walk through that there's a little opening here. Sometimes it's our own walls that have stopped us from getting what we want. We just have to look for opportunities because he can just turn around and walk there and get what he wants, right? So it's about a guarded energy, a wounded warrior. The person, then this card comes up, they've been through a lot, but they're determined to go forward. Do not give up. That's the point of that card. But when it's in reverse, it's hopeless. It's feeling like the situation's never going to end. Everybody's out to get them. It's a pessimistic outview. They're trying to outlook, but they're giving up. They're not really determined anymore. They're losing their willpower. So it's just your job to remind the querent or yourself to be determined that these are just obstacles and lessons, and the universe put them there because you knew that they could get through it. So it's about gaining that determination and the willpower. But when it's in reverse, they're ready to give up. Their heads down. They feel defeated. They don't want to continue to move forward. And the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is about taking on other people's problems. It's external burdens. Things are weighing you down. You have a lot of kids. You have a lot of responsibility. But it's problems, it's obstacles, it's challenges. It's feeling, again, not like you can't handle everything that's being put on your plate. You're taking on too much. But usually it's taking on other people's problems, other people's challenges. So it's a message of creating more balance, but it's a message of feeling defeated and frustrated. Again, there's so much going on, they feel weighed down. And when it's in reverse, that means the burden's coming to an end. They're releasing some of these responsibilities, some of these people's obligations. They're seeing that other people's problems, opinions, that's not their problem, that's other people's problems. So they're releasing that. They're coming out of that. They're starting to feel free. They're starting to stand straight again, and they're starting to move forward with their head high. And again, as always, the 10s are representing of that's coming to an end. This cycle, this battle, these challenges that they've been through is over now. It's time to move on to something new. It's time to let go of the old and welcome the new from the universe. Okay. So again, the minor arcanas are our daily changes, our daily obstacles, the thing that go on a daily basis. When we see a lot of yellow in the cards, that's happiness, that's success. When we see a lot of blue, that's clear skies ahead. We just have to remember there's no clouds, there's sunny, it's clear skies ahead. And when we see the gray, it's not as successful. We're in the planning phases. We're trying to move towards and create something that it is that we want. And again, the wands represent fire and passion. And when you're in a business, they represent work. They represent merchants. They represent sales. They represent our challenges. And they represent our creativity. So that is the suit of the wands. After this, we're going to move into